A horrifying secret in a little mountain town. True story. There are places in this world where the veil is thin, and not everything you see is what it appears to be. I found myself in the mountain town of Show Low. It's a cute name, Show Low, but I've got a story for you that proves names can be used to hide a very dark reality. Underneath that cute surface, there is a frequency that I can only describe as predatory. After arriving in this little mountain town, I decided to check out the lake area where free camping and hiking were permitted. So after a few miles of driving I found the lake and a spot to camp and decided to strike out for a hike on a remote dirt road. As I was walking, I saw a red Cadillac, a luxury sedan, sitting at a T intersection of the dirt road I was hiking. It was out of place, pristine and polished against the dust of the mountain. As I got closer, I realized someone was sitting inside, watching me. It was a woman, perfectly groomed. Her hair was done, her makeup was flawless, and she was dressed as if she were attending a high-end event, not sitting on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere. She didn't move. She didn't wave. She just stared at me with an intensity that felt like a physical weight. In the woods, women don't sit alone in luxury cars just to stare at hikers. I didn't stay in the woods that night. I felt a deep creep set in, a spiritual alarm that something wasn't quite right. Something felt off and pushed me back into town. I figured I would just stay at the Walmart, surrounded by the familiar hum of civilization. I parked my Tahoe, played some chess online as I love the strategy of the game, and eventually I went to sleep. But the safety of the parking lot was an illusion. I fell into a dream that was more vivid than reality. In my dream, I found myself in the darkened basement of a hospital. I wasn't just a spectator, I felt everything. I felt the agonizing bite of an axe as they severed my legs. I felt the trauma as they took my arms. I was lying there, a torso, still alive and conscious of the horror. But I wasn't alone. As I looked around that basement, I saw other people. Upstairs, on the top floors, they might have been treated as patients in need of care, but down here in the dark, they were no longer patients. They were subjects of sacrifice. I was aware that they, too, were being dismembered around me, part of a systematic, horrific harvest. A man stepped forward with a heavy club. I knew with absolute certainty that if he struck my head, my physical life would end. I cried out, "No. Don't hit me. I don't want to die." Then, suddenly out of nowhere, the woman from the red Cadillac, who I saw on the dirt road where I was hiking, appeared in my dream. She walked up to where I lay with my legs and arms amputated. She looked down at me with no mercy and said, "Just let him hit you. It'll be quick. You won't know a thing." She was trying to lure me into an agreement. She wanted my consent to surrender my life. I refused. I fought back with everything in my spirit, and all at once I woke up. I sat up in my bed, gasping for air, the phantom pain of the dreams still echoing in my mind. I looked out the window, and there, to my surprise, standing adjacent to the Walmart parking lot, was the hospital from my dream. The realization hit me like a physical blow. It was revealed to me that Show Low is a town under a dark occult influence. I believe to this very day that in the basement of that very building, things are happening that the public isn't meant to know. Human sacrifice is a spiritual reality, and that hospital felt like the center of a very dark harvest. Something else that seemed off and suspect: I kept noticing that 2 helicopters were constantly going and coming to the hospital. What were they doing? Who were they transporting? Were they bringing in more people to sacrifice? I started my engine and I left that town as fast as the road would allow. When you are a person of faith and intentional sovereignty, the universe will show you the truth of a place. It might show you through a prophetic seer, or it might show you in a dream that bleeds into reality. But when the warning comes, you must listen. Guard your mind gate. Do not enter into agreements with the dark. And when your spirit tells you to run, don't look back.